mineral and shit. Yeah, you're like, man, some smell nigga, coconut, whole shit. It's me, nigga. Oh. And I was like, I ain't got nothing on. Let myself dry. I like it too. Hair up in there, get some little settings, you know, so it feels really good. Yeah, man, we're building about the whole little, you know, the orphanage situation, man, the adopted, you know, a lot of that don't get attention. Hope the dude ain't in the back room, you know what I'm saying, in the broadcast room, getting ready to push these buttons because we're touching on subjects and topics that most, basically none of your false prophets talk about, you know, not even Malachi York. As far as like dealing with, you know, orphanages and adopting of black children, or, you know, we only know it as black children, really. Now I'm gonna go ahead and get these balls moving more side. Thank you for everything. Focus on myself and my family and my life. And continue to bless us and put us in the right position in order for us to have freedom, justice, and equality. You know, these mothers in on trying to get in on our happiness, pretty much. The happiness is what they don't want you to have. As soon as you get this happiness, you'll be able to start running shit, you know? And so, once you realize we done been through a loophole of all kinds of things, and then it kind of gave us a certain personality disorder where we have to have like masks to deal with one another, you know, or just to be able to function in today's society. It's a cluster B personality disorder. We're breaking it down, you know? And dealing with the adopted children and adopted people of the world, you know, that's kind of like, and that's with all races, especially with the Caucasian, who has pretty much their history has kind of been told a little bit now about the Cabbage Patch dolls, the Cabbage Patch kids or whatnot, who were born in incubators. False prophet Malachi York, he talked about it's going to be happening in the future, but it's already happening. He's talking about it's happening on other planets like Mars. Anything to get you away from what's going on right here. All right. False prophets, they're good at that shit, you know. They like to get your mind thinking about other things while they market to your spirit, you know, and hopefully that you're deaf, dumb, and blind mentally, spiritually, so you won't be able to pick up on the words and the delivery that they have. So yeah, why is it so much, you know, marketing to people's spirit anyways, where they're trying to get them to know and understand who the true and living God is and what these gods is? Why people really focus on this so much, you know, and not really focus on the fact of there's a lot of orphans in the world that have been abused, some been taken. You know, we got a lot of missing children situations starting from when I was growing up, you know, the milk cartons era, you know, nobody knowing nothing. Now we're starting to see what's been going on the whole time. So this is why it's very important for us as our people, so-called blacks, the foundational black Americans, and Ninjas, and the Indians, or whatever you want to call it, because to get our babies up out the system at this point, Most High made the orphan be the actual cream of the crop. You see what happened with Moses? He was a so-called orphan, you know, and a lot of things went on with that. That's a beautiful story, you know, as far as like releasing people who were captive. Hey, what's going on, y'all? What's happening? I'm doing well. I'm out here post-workout vibe, feeling good. We're talking about, you know, we're touching on the American adopting situation as far as like linking up the families or the same ethnicities with, you know, with the same parents. Like if you got black parents, we all kind of know what black people is and whatnot, maybe whatnot, you know, link them up with each other instead of, you know, mixel plixel and having, you know, black children get adopted by a certain Caucasian. We see that a lot now. And given the history that blacks and Caucasians went through, this should be pretty much against the law at this point. And it shouldn't be nothing to really argue about. You know, dealing with this cluster B personality disorder, a lot of orphans, or a lot of adoptions that go down, you know, going from different parents from house to house. The child will develop, you know, cluster B personality disorder, either in traits or in pathologicalness, because it's been switched around. And some of us was raised in a household where you damn near felt like you was adopted or orphan because your mom and them on drugs and shit like that. So they don't pay attention to you. They don't validate your emotions or your feelings. And so when black children are getting shipped around into different homes, their feelings, it's not getting as validated and understood as it ought to be. Being by people who actually went through those type of situations, who've been able to see can understand what this child needs, you know, and to direct them right to the Creator. Instead of getting this child off of the Creator, the all source, and putting, you know, another name and giving these different names and all these different things. This is why it's important now to encourage anyone who's a child or an orphan that was a child, a teenager, because at the teen you're getting ready to, you know, get into your life, so it's you're situating everything at this point. And a lot of people who have parents don't understand the strength that it takes to be an adopted child or orphan and to function in an everyday world. They think that when you get grown, you just get grown, or they know better now. But it's like they've been grown into this world with the true I am only. That's connected to them. That's all they have. So they have to develop the faith in the all Creator. And I'm here just to validate the fact that, yo, to cultivate that connection with the Creator, even if you was ignored in the household. You know, these things that they were switched around, going to different homes, you know, sexual things happen too. Whether it could be with the adult, it could be with peers, because nobody have blood, so it's not like they're doing anything wrong in their mind where they're experimenting on one another. You know, they actually kind of stick with this. As versus when you're with a family member, you kind of grow out of it. You're like, that's incest, but you still. Okay, I gotta really be careful now, y'all, because they really back. Okay, I gotta really be careful now, y'all, because they really back there now. They really don't want this message to get out, probably. This is a message. You know what I'm saying? They know. I had to wipe that off. So yeah, as far as like going to different homes, you know, you develop certain tactics mentally, spiritually, you know, and this personality. See why snap in certain situations. I'm talking about, like, you know, a fight. This due to being exposed to different type of personality. You know, living in their house or something because they neglect. They don't have they don't want to be, you know, hands-on with you and hands-on with the child or the teen or whatnot. They just want to get this money from the child or the teen or whatnot. They just want to get this money from the government. No false prophet, no religion, besides like Christianity or something like that. But I'm talking about like NOI, Elijah Muhammad, Farrakhan. Nobody never put together an organization to be like, I'm talking about who have this type of power to get an organization to get the babies out and to, you know, to build with the babies from scratch. As far as like the gods and earth, that's where I'm from. You know, we got ours out the mud, out the street. So we had to get ours from another person who had knowledge of self in the street. And it's like, yo, you had to know and understand that you was part of the creation. And by doing the knowledge to how things are lined up in order, to see its divinity, to be like, yo, yes, I am with the Creator. Because we didn't really know that. So with the NOI, they came with an answer. But with us, we came with just doing the knowledge and just being able to get that understanding to see the equality of all things. So, you know, we're like as our nation or whatnot, when I got knowledge of self as a teenager, because I had friends that died, my best friends died, my friends went to prison, all these different things. I was a part of all that shit, but Most High had his hand on me so I could be able to deliver the message now. And now I'm seeing even more clearly and in depth. We were all kind of like neglected as kids growing up. Shit, we had to get hugs from each other in school and shit. If we had to go to school, we had to hug because our parents weren't even hugging us at home. You know, we don't even know little things. You know what I'm saying? My sister was on dope, things of that nature. I happened to just be at a certain point to where I just, Most High kept me at a certain, I was exposed to a lot of shit. I was part of the ringleader. But anyhow though, with these kids who not understood, being moved around from different place to place, they developed more of a, when I say the cluster B personality, that's dealing with a psychopath, histrionic, borderline personality, it's a hypersexual individual, you know, and, you know, narcissism. I think I said narcissism. So everybody that they meet or will become the supply source. Hey, what's up, y'all? What's happening? I'm glad you tuned in. I'm gonna say hi to you, please. Is that Tyler? Hey, what's happening? Tyler Park, peace. Love in the highest all life, from the child all the way up to the elder who has the childlike essence inside of them. You know, we're preparing these things on a spiritual and world level now, due to the Kundalini is at a certain level where everybody can broadcast out and reach the right ones. All right, and so no, you know, a lot of these organizations, more science, whoever, the Wapians, they never went out and really. They didn't really believe in their doctrine as deep and toughly or solid enough to go and adopt babies and adopt them. It's in the baby, you know, because we all develop this type of certain points in time. If we have really faced our true self, which is the great I am, just to rob you of your glory. And just to show you the glory goes to the creator, because that's the one that gave you the talent, even if you didn't have the family or the physical family. You got the spiritual family. Up in there, you had to give birth, so that means you had to have grandparents somewhere. Somebody had to be born. The parent made them went through such a time where they gave up. They and their cluster B personality disorder, they gave up because they didn't have faith in their rare abilities and where, what they've been through in their life. Some had a baby and don't even still be there nurturing wise, just had a baby there just because the baby's a check. Or you can get some Section 8 once they figured it out. They have some place to live, and then next thing you know, they got a bunch of niggas coming through, a mama, because she needs her cluster B personality disorder validated too, because she didn't have that love. And a lot of our love is validated, or our intimacy is through sex. And the enemy of the Most High Creator knows that. This is why they attacked our Kundalini. And so by going around to different homes and things of that nature, we develop little things of touching and kissing and just quick witty things. It's kind of like project. It's like a project almost. You become damn near a sociopath because you done met so many people other than, the actual blood. We all go through things like that. I was happened to be like the only child for a certain amount. Everybody else in my family was damn near enemy and shit, but they did their part. So glory be to the Most High. But developing these disorders, a lot of our people who came to the hood who was false prophets, they never really touched on this type of situation. And now we got something to deal with this and talk about this through psychology now. We have to deal with shit and don't know how to have functioning relationships, but just know how to go to work, to and fro, and make that money pretty much. They're only at that level versus having. That's why when the occasion man was up there pretty high. They either idolize the value and discard it, and idolize it, then discard it. Shit about this anyway. Whatever order. That's what happens with doesn't have that validation from our mothers or our primary caregivers. Even if mothers was in the homes, if it wasn't a superb, a sincere validation, we'll go out and try to get validation from anybody. We can see the Caucasian is the answer done came out now. They said that they're incubator. They said it. So if they call the Caucasians, they call them howlies, soulless beings. So just basically a spirit just going around wondering and striving to fit in and understand who they truly are. And then looking at individuals that what they like and see. They see that they're not that, and so they become envious and jealous, and all these different feelings come up due to their low vibrational frequencies. And then, hey, the way they have their relationships is just like how we have our relationships. It's through the idolize and defy and discard, but it's just what happened to be. They work together because they kind of have this understanding of who they are. We do too, as niggas, but it gets deeper because they're in between our unity. When we try to unity, all right, we don't, because we actually do try to help the children. You see Black Panther Party, they know that kids weren't getting fed that much in the hoods, so they came up with the WIC program. Now everybody all over the American territories is benefiting off of WIC, and that means, that means something that was done from our culture was able to benefit our nation, everyone as a whole at this point, being that they was able to understand from that type of level of not having no food at home. Like Pac say, man, a house full of babies crying from a lack of getting love, and I've seen it and I've been through it. I knew how to cry on the inside, and what it can do is it can make you feel like you're not worthy, and you don't know who God is and you get to question it. But the great I am is inside of you. This is the best answer that I can pretty much give as far as like you cultivating the energy. Anyone who is adopted or orphan or any form of fashion is to get more closer to self more than anything, Because you'll see that once you do that, you'll connect with the ones who are just like you. We're going to get the babies about the system because it's unfair for for any of our children to be raised up or reared up if they don't have to be, I can see if you had to be, that's cool. It's different. A lot of black men and women are not, so they know and understand that justice is coming for, you know, trying to deny us our, you know, livelihood. But, you know, as far as like with the adoptions going on, anyone who wants to adopt, who's a teacher, can't none of that. Not no more. Not getting next to a month that you don't know. This is very important. Yeah, so they trying to do it. But anyways, so Muslims we want to go back to their home. You know, it's normal because remember, heavens is over these certain lands wherever you're at, and if you depending on how advanced you is, you got ancestors that'll come snatch you up and get you and bring you to your. Yeah, they trying to make me forget. But in Mississippi, in the South, they all own burial stuff. You know what I mean? As far as like funeral homes and shit like that. And in the North, they got some spots too. When they had, you know, black funeral home over where I was at, Minneapolis and stuff, you know. But they had a lot of white ones, and they did the bodies. And then when they did the bodies, man, it was like eyes weren't there, and looked like, you know what I mean? You know how. Something has more attention as well. You know, getting them into the game, our practitioners. Teas and herbs all day, man, and we don't have this aspect of it. Yeah, they're gonna definitely hate on me, man. Cause I ain't begging, and I'm homeless, and I'm just living accordingly. You know, of course, they attack the finance side of me and shit. You know, even though I had my babies in a certain situation, they still got them. You know, they try to take your babies now. They try to get mine. They had to go on like a 2-week run. Like you may not even want to adopt. You may not even want to get your babies up. They try to find a way to get them now. You know, they know how to market to you, y'all. You know. So anyhow, I had to get situated because I didn't even want to sit right here at this point either because this is a certain angle. Don't want to move it either because I don't want to lose the actual signal. What's happening? How you doing? Yeah, I'm gonna get ready to probably hop up off this joint in a second, but I just wanted to, because I ain't got, you know, there's a lot of little petty things I got going on. I had to, you know, navigate through the petty, you know, little spirits that do little things and try not to get this information out. As far as like when it comes to our culture, you know, our people is like they kind of shy away from the adoption part, you know, and because they feel like they got it bad on their own. But I'm with the adoption. You know, I reared children up, and my own at the same time, you know. So they weren't even mine, you know what I mean? And I didn't hate them or nothing like that. You know, it wasn't like I needed them. I just knew and understood whose life I needed to be in, you know, for certain seasons. You know, and it's not peachy and creamy, you know, and it's not like TV, you know, as far as like, you know, growing up, you want to look at the family on TV, like, oh yeah, they got them dad and the mom and stuff like that, and, you know, it's different though. So now when you get to a certain stage, you can do this, but without neglecting your own healing process, it's a must that you face yourself and go out and deal with nature. Just sit out in nature by yourself and connect with the Creator. And think of your ancestors. You'll start seeing things, you'll start seeing the connection of it all. Like I'm talking about the blessings that are laying in front of you. You got blessed now, but I'm just saying for those who really can see that they're the baby of the Creator, if they're an orphan, a lot of things will start playing out for you. You never really had to suffer unless you put yourself through the situation. It's like providence. Most High is like a provider. It's always going to provide if you just kind of let things almost flow, but put effort to it, but just kind of let it flow. You know, you may not have everything that you want, but I guarantee you, if you don't stress out, you'll have what you need at those times. Shit'll come. You the baby. You know, so this is why we're getting the babies up out the system, dog. Getting the babies out the system. That's one of the main things once I get ready, because I'm going to figure out what a NAGA need, because I ain't got no record. The most I make sure I ain't had no record, no driving record, no moving, but they try to give me one so much, man. They'll try still. But get the right teachers, you know, through celibacy, you know, you alternate through the year. If you feel like you gotta have sex, you alternate, or you care about the kids, the children. We have fun. We got the light body facility. We're playing the football. We're playing the baseball, the basketball, the softballs. We're watching the movie nights. We're having the fun. There's nobody's not really at that low kundalini level where they have to, you know, try to, you know, sexually gratify themselves with the child or even their own energy, because you be healed to a degree. This is why we got to take this year to heal real fast. before you do anything. You got to get to a certain point. You know, you can't just be at a level. Even though you have that gift to want to raise, to be around children and raise children and help everyone out who's been through a thing, you got to heal self first. And that's for the ones who really want to help, who really want to get on. We need like 50 teachers, dude. Like 50 you know, practitioners, healthcare practitioners. You're gonna love being back in the youth again, walking through the trails, learning things. You know, we're not really focusing on what's going on in the world. We're letting Most High handle the world. You know, this is why it's important. We're getting the babies about the book. We're training them from the source. It's not like, I don't care. They're not gonna. They know it's not an evil cult. You know what I mean? But these are for those, because the white folks got our children. And I see black children, or what we call black, foundational black Americans, niggas, you know what I'm saying? I see out here, adopted by 2 white gay men. And the boys, they be so excited. One boy be excited to see me. They had locks. After a while, you know, he was so happy to see me with my locks. He's like, I love your hair. I'm like, I love your hair. I'm like, And we had that little connection. And as the time went on, his spirit got diminished more. Then they cut his locks. You know what I'm saying? So when I sent him, his locks was gone. Or they kind of made him not want to have locks. It happens, depending on who you look up to as your primary caregiver. I don't care if they're black, white, Asian, persuasion, your own blood mama, your own mammy. If they can persuade you to do something to go against the grain of your righteousness, of your vibe, of your high vibratorial, happy feeling, then that right there is the enemy of the Most High Creator. And so now you got to be like, I got to have the enemy of the Most High as a footstool for me. They took our books and things and turned them against us. You know what I mean? So now you have discernment. You're the baby of the Creator. If you was adopted teen, child, born not knowing, you're the baby of the Creator. Use that discernment. You're able to see these things. That's right, baby. I see you, Swift. I got you. All right? You know, you have discernment. You kind of know what the right and what's wrong is. You just got to use it. And that means that discernment means that you don't have no way, you have to be a hermit, basically. And the only thing that a hermit has is this light and this darkness, motherfucker. That's it. Itself, the light, and by itself, see? And that's where you got that discernment. And so that's a superpower that most wish to have. And they never went through it. So they won't understand the lack of love, you know? They having to go outside to get validated by your homies and shit. Y'all got your gang, you shake up, you know, whatever it is, man. They don't understand the science of the murders in Chicago, with all, you know, 359 murders and all this shit, man. And you look at the age group from 16 to 20-some years old. I remember those ages. It was brewing up at that time. For ours. So I know it was going to happen, you know. And now it's just a normal thing, to the point that the parents are numb. It's neglect. The child going out to get validated outside. Baby, I got you. Hold on. Let me give Swift something, man, because this is Swift right here. Even though somebody was trying to get him something, they're like, nah. I want to mess with you, man, because I want to, you know, you got love. They, you know, they just put the food down. But you, I get to feel your energy. So let me go ahead and give Swift something. See, look, y'all gonna see Swift. It's a different bird. Come here, Swift. Yeah, I had to probably slow that down and look back and see what that was. He was the one over here asking. So yeah, get in tune with the nature. You know, you'll start seeing the patterns of the Creator, and inside of you, you realize you're the golden mean. You know, you're the actual golden mean. That's a mathematical term. You know, they call it the Fibonacci sequence. You know, they take the names and try to change it up and shit, as they do everything. But that's just you. You're the golden mean. I'm the golden mean. You are me and I am you, and this is what we're supposed to do. 0 time zone we will last, where we live and have a blast, toasting back into the past. Here and now is so futuristic. It's always a time too. It's always time to knowledge, the culture, your connection to the divine. You ain't got nobody telling you this. That means that you ain't need no priest to tell you. You know, that's the thug on the phone. You need no priest to tell you. You just need a validation, confirmation. But you already want to know what heaven is. And the heaven is the heaved up place within. It's inside. So you got to go on the inside and raise that light to the crown chakra. And once you get it up to the crown, you lit. They're going to try to steal your fun and your joy, but we're going to connect with other ones. We're going to connect with other adoptees, orphans, I know they're like, man, what the hell's going on? Professor X had to go to orphans, huh? What the hell's going on here? I got people walking around me, birds around me, and I'm talking to y'all. They know I'm talking to something. I'm lit. They know I'm lit. And I ain't even bragging. The spirit famous. I'm trying to make sure the joint don't sit up, y'all. You know what I mean? My bad. Spirit famous, but not bragging though. Not bragging. It's not bragging at all, dude. We all got this. We all gonna do it too. It's gonna be so super. Because they say, damn, them niggas went within. They ain't even need the outside. Because these people gonna keep trying to put Jesus in your face. And that's a good story. But it came from one of our stories, you know? Which is, pardon me. It came from our story. Y'all, I'm trying to set this up real fast. You know, y'all landing all on my hands. Can't really do it. Because y'all are doing what it do, okay? My bad, y'all. See, they gonna land on the phone again. They're like, what are you looking at? All right, y'all, here you go. Get that. But yeah, that's what they don't want, so that's what we're gonna do. No false prophet did it, and that's going down real soon. So all I'm saying is that, you know, everyone needs to just get ready to, just prepare themselves. That's it. Prepare themselves. If y'all talking about Third Eye Atlas, y'all want to say whichever, or, you know, we was already chopping it up about that stuff. About Apophis, you know what I'm saying, 99, 98, you know what I mean? We was already chopping it up like that, y'all. Yeah, baby. Hold on, I'm gonna hold this mug on. Hopefully that joint don't go out. Jeez. You have to hit it like this. Oh, sorry about that, y'all. Pardon me. And so, yeah, you know, get ready. Or Shiriko, you know. They know what's gonna go down and shit. They know what's happening. They know it's that time. On that little 250-year markup, we was already chopping it up about the Great Conjunction in the year 2020. People act like 2020 didn't happen. So, like, that's when everybody got shook up, and that's what we need, a new shake-up. So when motherfuckers shake up again, it's a wrap, G. It's on like hot butter popcorn. We'll see who was putting in the work since then, and who just went back into going to work. You know what I'm saying? Taking off the mask and just doing what it do. All right, shucks, man. Y'all just gonna keep on doing that, huh? Y'all just gonna keep on doing that, huh? All right, hold up. Let me move this out the way. It's me talking to the animals, and the animals, they know, man. Them niggas know. They, especially since all these daggone, done went down. All these daggone, what we call that? Solar eclipses. We got the blood moon, the beaver moon. Nigga, why'd you do that? See? They messing with me, y'all. Mosiah's your only friend too, B. It sends things to help your ass. It could be a wicked motherfucker. Send it. If you need some help, it'll send a wicked to help you. It'll send an enemy of the Most High Creator to help you, or your ancestors to help you. You know? That's the only friend you got, yo. False gods came and they went. It's a wrap. There ain't gonna be no more false gods. It's about cultivating that relationship with the Most High, your own Kundalini, for the rest of the cycles now. It's like Star Trek. Ain't no more false gods no more. The niggas is done. They ain't gonna even be able to make no more false gods. It's not even in the genes no more. You have to completely destroy the genes of the whole earth. And they can't do that shit. So ain't gonna be no more false gods. Now that this information is out, because no false prophet told you that. No false prophet said, stop having sex. You know what I'm saying? You was molested in your life. You know, you activated that tree of life too soon. Not to say not to suck no titties and shit like that. No, most likely, yeah, you can still be intimate and shit. Not to say you should be crazy in doing that, because that'll run your whole little, you know, your day. You don't want that. You know what I'm saying? It's all about cultivating all the talents and the gifts that the Most High gave you. Be able to produce more, you know what I mean, and not show all your whole hand at all at any point in time to these folks. They know what's going to happen though, because you know they know we're going to do this, and acknowledge the cluster B personality disorder of your own self, of sometimes having to, you know, have people as narcissistic supply source for yourself to validate you outside, you know, We needed that validation a long time ago. Pardon yourself for the camera angle. You know, start getting that validation from the source. They'll start talking to you. The spirit will talk to you. The Most High spirit will talk to you. Your spirit will talk to you. You'll be, when you're by yourself in a forest somewhere that's really cool, a real forest, you sit back, your breath, the breath of the Creator is on you. Everything's on you, G. You all over America, especially if you're in America or any place where the ancestors, man, you know, you breathe, it's gonna be right there. Get you some fruit, go sit out there, get you some me time for an hour. Don't think about nobody else. Don't think about nothing. And you really can do this. Do this on the days of the true Sabbath. When the moon is one of the 4 sacred days of the moon. Not on Saturday, not the Satan day. You know, the Israelites, they do that. You know, they do that. But we're just talking about cosmically, naturally, supernaturally. Everybody's going to be on this. It's going to be like a rest day for the whole earth type shit. Like, everybody's going to be like this, you know. It's part of the moon. The moon, everybody sees it. So we're all going to be doing this. And the earth's going to rest. You're going to rest. You don't have to do nothing. Don't work out. You just sit and just relax. So don't think. Just give credit. Things will come to you. You'll start being thankful. You'll be so happy the next day. You can go about. We have replenished energies. Kundalini. It's like everybody's doing it. We're going to do that too. So we get back on. Then all the downloads will come and everybody's going to be adding on to the cipher, man. It's a beautiful thing. So just take this year into refinement right now. And I guarantee you we're going to meet up. It's a small peak at the top, but we get able to get the land that we need to. I know certain spots. You may know certain spots. And boom. Don't be afraid. Hit me up on the emails. We can actually make it work at a very low number. The Most High got us. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to spend $88,000 and shit. Most High know that we use knowledge and wisdom and understanding to get our shit across, to be able to get something at a very affordable price at a very high value. It's being valuable. Land that's cultivatable, no mudsliding land, you know, land that was promised to us. We can instantly plant fruit trees instantly. Not just get there and plant them and build something on it like a fence or something. No, we put the seed in the ground right away. Right away. Cultivating our grains, you know what I'm saying? Because you gotta have grains. You gotta have grains and storing them joints. You know what I mean? We know what to do. Most High gave us the knowledge to be self-sufficient, dude. We got it. So start cultivating that, because that's where your best friend is at. And you'll start seeing through your discernment that when Most High is talking to you, who is sent to you, who is the true, who is the false, who is the lie, who you can just learn from, even if you ain't got to follow them. Just like, I learned from you. I ain't got to follow your ass. But you big-eyed little you, I'm supposed to walk down the street with you. I'm supposed to be, yeah, like that or something? Nah. That's not how it's working this season. Everybody's a priest and priestess, you know? We use each other who's a little bit more advanced until we're able to get it on our own, all right? I love y'all. Thanks for joining in, you know. Finna get ready to hop up off here only because the fact that the battery is low. We had the God percent. That means 7, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's the main thing we should be doing in this time. We don't have to worry about going into the armed forces. Some of my black police officers, I kind of look at you know, especially the new ones, man, that's young now, that's like my children age. They're in their 20s and shit, early 30s. I just be like, damn, y'all don't know better? You know, at this point, if it's not for the beneficial of the whole United States or our community, and we're not showing an example on how we can have some type of unity through all of this chaos, it's like, I don't know why would you join the force, you know what I mean? We don't really belong in that stuff. You know, it's nothing to help us, and not even our millionaires will help us. So we're going to do this on our own. So regardless of whom or what, Most High got us. That's our best friend. And they're like, let's see then, let's see. They hate Most High that much. Don't they? Ain't that something? Because they mad you can sit out in the crystal. They know that the 666 ain't our sign. We don't, like, they can have that. Because now you can get on the internet. You know what I'm saying? You can search for yourself. You can see, like, you're a crystal. You don't need to eat that much. All you need to do is be in that sun. That's why they want to block it all the goddamn time. Depending on certain times of the year, you get the energy drawn in from there. You're eating your fruits is giving you electric energy. Now you don't even have to eat nothing until the nightfall, and that's when your natural circadian rhythm will begin to kind of slow down and dwindle down. Do everything according to season and time, the right and exact way, so you won't be thrown off, because they got mugs doing things at different times of the night and the day. It's throwing your kundalini off and shit, you know? You can be creative at 3 o'clock in the morning and stuff like that, but at certain times you do got to get some type of rest. You know, you got to get that DMT flowing at the right time. It's a molecule. You got to come up to the right heavens so we can get more downloads. We at the higher heavens while we on Earth. You know, these people are at the lower heavens. You can see just through their everyday life and existence and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like they follow fucking culture experiments and shit and don't even know why. Why? We telling you right now, they in the lower heavens and shit. They at the lower, they got lower light. We got higher light. We get inspiration from the Creator. That's your best friend. And you never need nobody else. You know? So if you tap into that, you back into the you back in it again. Your talents is gonna keep you company. Your gifts is gonna keep you company. And you're gonna run into the right people to display those gifts too and those talents too. So it's a beautiful thing. All right. So I love y'all, and I'll build you in the next one.